Runners, I'm going to take you through the difference between the runner that loses 10 to 20% body fat and the runner that gains 5 to 10% body fat. And they both started in the exact same place. However, they have different mindsets. Runner number A, they usually get support and they find support that is actually tailored to them and they follow a system that's been proven. Runner number two, they wing it alone and they usually change things quite often, consistently looking online, initially doing the right thing, but get pulled into loads of different directions and have no clear focus, which leads to you gaining the body fat because you're going round and round in circles. And obviously, the difference is never going to be motivation. Some of the most motivated runners I've ever spoke to are the second type of runner. But what will dictate you between the others is going to be the decisions that you make. This is absolutely everything because this will determine what your next week will look like in comparison to the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. If you have a system that's been proven, that will give you a sense of clarity and confidence in the process. Whereas what a lot of the runner B struggle with is that they have no confidence at all. So when they execute, they know full well that they're not going to get the result. So then they might do it for 2 weeks, not see any results because they're not following something that's tailored to them, and then they stop and they look for the next thing. But throughout that whole process, they don't have any confidence in the first place, so they're not executing with conviction. And conviction's absolutely everything. And you'll see probably from all my YouTube videos, I speak with full conviction because I know my system gets results. All of my runners get amazing results because they go through a proven process that's predictable. That way, it's impossible for you to fail unless you don't have the commitment to do so. And ultimately, a lot of the runners I speak to, they certainly don't lack commitment. You run 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and onwards kilometers a week. That's serious commitment right there. Let's fix the real bottleneck. And obviously, you wouldn't fix a car on your own. So, perspective, why are you fixing your own body on your own, which is ultimately a lot more important in a longevity standpoint than your car? Because if your car breaks down, you hire a mechanic, not because you're incapable of doing it yourself, but you simply lack the time and mental capacity to do so. So you hire someone that can fix it in a day, and you know that you will have confidence that they'll fix it properly because that's their job. Whereas when it comes to your body, you decide to try and fix it all alone when that isn't something that you're an expertise in and that you don't fully understand, which leads to what would happen to your car if you tried to fix it on your own. Probably is going to consistently break and not get you anywhere. And the rabbit hole every runner falls into is looking for that next red shiny object. You'll go on Instagram, YouTube, Google, consistently get new diets, look at different coaches, different articles, and that skews your mind. A lot of people think this is taking them towards their goal, but it's taking them away from their goal because it isn't information and knowledge that we lack in this society. It's implementation of the right thing. And we really need to change our perspective upon that. You can research for months and months and get nowhere. Like if I just spent years and years researching how to be the best running coach for fat loss as possible, I wouldn't be where I am today. I took action and hired multiple different coaches who was doing what I wanted to do so I could learn exactly how the process needs to look. Same goes with my athletic career. I invested in HYROX coaches, running coaches, nutrition coaches, and now I know exactly what to do effortlessly and I'm being held to my highest standard. And that's the treaty of life. You need to really put yourself first because that's all you've got at the end of the day. Your best investments into yourself, second best investments into career, third best investments into materials. And confidence comes from clarity. What I do is take runners through 3 steps. And this is what gives you clarity and this is what gives you confidence because you know exactly what you're going to do in order to achieve the result you want. Everyone's watching this wanting to become a better runner, and everyone's watching this wanting to become leaner. So I've created a system that allows you to become all 3 of those things. You can't do that unless your metabolism's not been fixed. So if you're in a stubborn position where you've got fat around the waist, hips, thighs, inflammation everywhere, poor energy, daily fatigue, this needs fixing. So I spend a good month fixing that for all my runners, everyone. Even top athletes that come to me running 150k a week, we still have to do this. Then we can lose fat with confidence without losing the performance. Because would have collected data in this first phase. What can I do with data? Spot trends and predictability and know when to make the right changes. With yourself, you're making changes based out of what? emotion. When you make changes based out of emotion, it doesn't get you anywhere. Whereas with myself, I will make the decision based out of logic. So we get the results in this second phase. And most importantly, you don't want to become a statistic. 92% of runners, or not runners, sorry, 92% of people in general that lose weight regain it within 2 years. So my goal is to help you sustain this whilst being able to learn how to balance it all with running. And one kept guessing, and then one kept progressing. It's very simple. 6 months apart, you can achieve amazing results. People think their goals are years and years away because they have simply never been in the right direction. So they think it's something that's going to take them forever. Whereas in reality, I have runners losing 5 to 10 inches off their waist, hips, thighs, and that's just individualized in like a 4 to 6 month period. I have runners completely body compositioning themselves, getting themselves ready for races and going into that with full conviction, knowing they're fully fueled and they're not going to get injured in 6 months to a year. Whereas for yourself, 6 months could look really long and really slow because you don't know what to do. You're consistently hitting plateaus, you build frustration. And what happens is you stop caring about running in general because you're not getting anywhere with it and you just see it as a tool that's making you gain weight. Whereas in reality, it doesn't have to be that way. And busy runners, you don't need more motivation. I keep trying to change your perspective. You need to have certainty in your approach. No amount of research is going to fix this for you. I've helped 450 runners stop guessing, and ultimately you have to remove the trial and error, because if you don't, you will stay in the same cycle. Why? If nothing changes, nothing changes. You have to leave your comfort zone in order to grow as a human. If you continuously stay in your comfort zone, you will stay comfortable. You will stay in the body that you're in, and you will stay with the same running times. Whereas if you want to progress past that, you can message me on Instagram with the word system, and I can show you a bit more personalized how this whole approach looks for you, your running career, your fat loss career, and then we can go from there. We can see if it's a fit. Like I have at the moment over 90 runners on my team. I don't need to bring any more in. However, I have a huge impact on all of these runners, and I want to do my best and hold myself accountable to doing what I'm here for, and that's getting you the best results possible. And if you also found this helpful, drop me a like and drop me a subscribe.